Alright, this problem is a little more complex than the last ones we did, but it's along the same lines. We're going to write down all our information. So in this situation, we have a 25 kilogram boulder. 25 kilograms is our mass. And it says on Earth, which if we're on Earth, remember we know that G is 10 meters per second squared, and it has 300 joules of potential energy. So PE is 300 joules. And it says how far above the ground is it? So we're looking for the height, and we don't know that. So it's a pretty straightforward application. We're going to need to know the equation for potential energy, which you can look up as mgh, and we know everything except h. So we're just going to solve for h. So if you're the type who likes to plug their numbers in right away, you can do that, I guess. Again, make sure your units are in kilograms, meters per second squared, joules. They'll all cancel properly and give you meters. But so 300 joules equals 25 times 10 times h. So this will be 300 equals 250 times h. And then if we divide each side by 250, we'll get our value for h. So h is 300 divided by 250. And once you get your answer, so in this case the answer is 1.2 meters, it doesn't hurt to double check that. We think this is right, but let's plug it back into this equation that we weren't messing with. Does 25 times 10 times 1.2 give you 300? And it does. So that's a good way to check your answer. Here's another problem, same idea. We're going to write down what we know. We know the mass of the car is 1,200 kilograms. You know the kinetic energy of the car, KE, is 135,000 joules, and that is all they give us. We're looking for its velocity. So we need the kinetic energy equation, 1/2 mv squared, and we're trying to solve for velocity. So algebraically, this one's a little tougher, but let's go through it. So if I plug in 135,000 equals 1/2 times 1,200 times v squared. I want to figure out what v is. The best way is to isolate v squared, get that by itself first. So if I follow that through, 135,000 equals 600 times v squared. I want to get v squared by itself, so I divide both sides by 600. So if I divide 135,000 by 600, I get 225. So 225 equals v squared, but I want to know what just v is, and so this is where if I take the square root of both sides, I'll get that v equals the square root of 225, which happens to be 15, and the units are going to be meters per second. So that seems like it could be right, but again, let's double check it. Plug this back into the untouched equation. So 1/2 times 1,200 times 15 squared should give you 135,000, and it does. That means we've done this correctly. So that's basically how you would do some of these problems, solving for the unknown. So until next time, I am Derek Genova. Have a delightful day.